Hello everybody, so One Piece chapter 898 introduces us to Road. It's kind of funny how he's the navigator of the crew and his name is Road because he's kind of like the compass, the navigator for the road. He has a map, so I wonder where that leads, or if that's ever going to pay off in the storyline, in the main storyline. And his design really reminds me of that guy from Buggy's crew. I think his name is Kabaji or something. And also I found out that Stansen, the giant that we saw in the previous cover page for last chapter, was actually in Tsubodi Archipelago, pre-time skip with Rayleigh. But anyway, we get some Vinsmoke feats in this chapter. I hope they are not the only feats that we get out of them, ever. Judge, by the way, is noticeably absent, nowhere to be seen, which to me just implies that it's obviously setting up a moment, sort of like a heart-to-heart, father and son moment between him and Sanji before the climax of this arc. Sasuke Ichiji, because you know he's voiced by Sasuke's voice actor in the anime. Ichiji was on fire in this chapter, literally. Like, he has one of the best quotes, if not the best quote, of this entire chapter, where Oven is questioning, wait, what happened to Nostort? Captain Crunch Nostort. I thought his 10K had taken you guys out. And then Ichiji's response is epic, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read this. That flea and his cloud of flies tried swarming us. We swatted them into the ocean. You're a loser, Naruto. Then he also goes on to say, and this is actually a fair point, what would you idiots even do with our technology anyway? You probably wouldn't even know how to use it. And then he turns to Sanji and tells him, get that wounded guy out of here. You're interfering with the mission, Sanji. So I kind of like how even though they're helping, they're still kind of asshole-ish in their own way. As I was reading the chapter and saw Tamago and Montior freak out, I had this sudden realization, and that is the fact that Montior is literally the Usopp of Big Mom's crew in terms of his facial expressions and maybe even his role. Like if you look at page 8, he has a classic Usopp face. And this is when Brule starts announcing to the world that Katakuri has been defeated by Luffy. And that is like classic Oda too. It's like he has these announcements so that us as the readers can acknowledge the fact that yes, Luffy is the main character. Like he has these moments in previous arcs where like there's an announcer saying, oh my gosh, Straw Hat Luffy has defeated Rob Lucci. Or like in Dressrosa, Doflamingo has been taken down, he's fallen thanks to Straw Hat Luffy. And I feel like if Katakuri wasn't such an honorable character, I probably wouldn't feel as annoyed as I do with Brule's announcement. And there's also some commentary on the fandom because Oda just has a guy say, oh, he probably did some cowardly trickery to beat him. I hear you, Oda. Just taking jabs at the fandom. Anyway, Daifuku is aboard Smoothie's ship. He has to be there for a reason. I'm just gonna leave it at that. He's like, Montior, you suck. Smoothie's like, you suck too. And then Daifuku's like, well, at least I came back from that savage rabbit Sailor Moon attack. And it's moments like these that just kind of get me thinking about like, I mean, it makes a Yonko crew look like a joke a little bit, but at the same time, it's like, you can't really complain too much because then it's like, if a Yonko crew wasn't dealt with, then the story wouldn't move forward, and we'd be stuck dealing with Yonko subordinates forever. That being said, maybe some people feel that this is a little bit premature to be happening, but eventually One Piece will end. I mean, we'll have to come to accept it when that happens. It will be a sad day, but the story has to move. Progression must be made at some point. Anyway, Jinbei's about to pass by Cacao to make a quick pickup, and we get this pretty cool wide shot of Sanji kicking all this fodder away. Reminds me of the Matrix, like I can see these fodder flying out into the distance in slow-mo. Now he does get shot in the arm, which in my opinion is a way of Oda giving him a handicap so that when he accomplishes a feat, and he will get a feat, I know that he'll get a great feat by the end of this arc, it'll look that much more epic and people will be like, oh my gosh, he did that! And even, you know, while being shot, so something like that. I also kind of get the impression that Sanji is deliberately saving his energy. The thing that made me think that was the part where Niji rescues him and says something like, man, at that speed you'll be Swiss cheese or something like that. I feel like Sanji should technically be able to move faster than what he did in this chapter, given what we saw back when he hit Oven at one point faster than he could even notice. So I feel like he should move faster. Maybe not as fast as Niji, but still a lot faster. So I kind of get the impression that he's saving his energy up. Then we get blasted with all these Vinsmoke attacks, each of them taking about a page each. Personally, I think the ones that look the coolest are Ichiji's and Reiju's. Ichiji's attack reminds me of Kizaru's Yasakani no Magatama, which is like the lightning beam that he shoots, or that we saw him shoot back in Marineford. The thing that I really want to know about this, though, is that since the beams tend to disperse themselves and just kind of like fly in different directions, I really want to see a fully charged attack that is concentrated by Ichiji to see how much damage that deals. Because if the dissipated beams were able to do this much, I mean, granted, he didn't one-shot Oven because Oven got back up, but he was able to deal with, I think, 5 fodder. So I definitely want to see like a final flash type of attack for Ichiji. Then Yuen comes in with his Wrecking Ball hammer, and Yonji just completely wrecks him, which technically speaking, given the fact that we know that Sanji beat up Yonji, Sanji should have been able to take out Yuen by himself, except he got caught off guard in the previous chapter because he was looking down at Peckham's, and he was also protecting Luffy. He was protecting his captain. But it was a pretty nice moment for Yonji. There's a moment where I kind of get the impression that his hands are like entirely robotic, kind of like Frankie's. But the technique is really cool. It's like a sort of like a grappling hook type of thing. Somebody shoots a bazooka missile at Sanji, and I like how the missile is drawn kind of like coming out of a page, out of that panel there, just for visual effect. And then Niji comes in to save him. It's a Tachyon Blade, Henry Blazer, shout out to Killua. And then Oven starts getting really irritated and calls upon the people that are stationed at the shore. Snack being one of them. By the way, Snack was completely absent in this chapter as well, so he's probably going to appear next time. Does that mean that he's going to be the one to oppose Sanji, or is it going to be Daifuku? I feel like it has to be Snack or Daifuku at this point. Reiju comes in with that sexy pose and the pink hornet attack, and I have to say that I'm a little bit sad because we get a panel of a flashback to back when they were kids, and it's essentially Reiju saying goodbye to Sanji, so I thought, wait, is this goodbye? Is this how she says goodbye to her brother? Is this like one of the last times that we're going to see Reiju in this story, essentially? Because that would suck, to be honest. So I really hope that that's not the case. But anyhow, we get Sanji by the end of the chapter, skywalking towards the Sunny, still in midair, and I get the feeling that that's exactly where he's about to be intercepted by somebody else. And that's where he'll meet his obstacle, his opponent, for the arc. I mean, because Smoothie's on their tail, and there's a fleet, a line of ships that are guarding the coast, so somebody has to come out of those ships to confront Sanji or to stop him from escaping. It could be a sky battle. That would be fine. That would be really cool, just to have an actual air battle between Sanji and whoever. So whether it's Daifuku, Snack, or somebody else, make no mistake, folks, the end of the year of Sanji, which actually took like over 2 years, I think, is about to come to its end. I think this is Sanji's time to shine. That's why Luffy's fight was resolved prior to this moment. There has to be some payoff for all this stuff, for all this conflict and struggle for Sanji during this Whole Cake Island venture. But since Oda loves to troll Sanji so much, we're probably going to cut to Big Mom eating the cake next week. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good chapter. A lot of action, mainly an action chapter, which is cool. Judge and Pudding have been essential characters for Sanji's character arc, so there has to be some payoff in terms of something that he gets out of them that he wouldn't have otherwise gotten had he not come to Whole Cake Island, had he not been brought to Whole Cake Island. So expect some of that to happen soon. I actually have a question for you guys, and it's kind of like a hypothetical one, but I think it's worth thinking about at this point. So if this is like one of the last times that we see the Vinsmokes, which it probably won't be, but assuming like this is where their role ends in the Whole Cake Island arc, my question is, how did you feel about the way that they were handled as characters for Sanji, for Sanji's character arc, and for within the arc itself? Like, were you okay with it? Like, did you expect more? Did you want them to have a different role? Did you want them to remain completely emotionless and like neutral and just, I mean, because they kind of still are, but they serve the greater good. They're serving the story for the benefit of the main characters. Because personally, I think that Oda could do a lot more with them. Like right now, they just seem like underdeveloped characters. They seem incomplete a little bit. That's how they feel. And I don't know if that was always supposed to be the case. Because like if you look at like somebody like Sabo, who essentially had like an entire arc with him and Luffy growing up, and then eventually he came back, but then Oda had to like sort of take him out of the story. I don't know if it's going to be the same thing with the siblings, where it's like, okay, you served your purpose for Sanji's backstory. Now get out of my face, or I'll use you guys at some other point, but you know, I'm gonna give you a rest after this for a while. Like, what do you think? And that's going to do it for me. I appreciate your viewership. Please leave me a thumbs up if you appreciated the review, the video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already for more One Piece reviews. I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Bye.